To find the volume of this object, what we want to do is we want to find firstly the volume of a cube. So hopefully you can identify that we've got a cube there. Right, we want the volume of that. And then we also want to find the volume of this cylinder, which is here. All right? So, to find the volume of the cube, what you can see is when I highlight in yellow, you can see those little lines there. So that shows they're all the same length. And so what this means is it's 5 meters this way. 5 meters. 5 meters. And so what we need to do is we need to find the area of the base. So let's say one of these is the base here. Okay, highlighted in yellow. And so that area is going to be, of that base is 5 meters by 5 meters. So it's 25 square meters. And then we need to multiply it by, let's call it the depth. I'll just do that in red highlighter there, the depth. So it's going to be, the volume of that one is 5 times 5 times 5. All right, so that's 25 times 5. It's 125 cubic meters. So that's the volume of that cube. Next, what we want to do is we need to find the volume of that cylinder. So it's the same thing with all of these prism questions. We're just looking for that area of what we call a base, all right? And then we're going to multiply that by how deep it is, all right? So let's get some measurements from our picture here. What we can see is, I'll pick an orange. What we can see here is from one side of the circle to the other side. Let's just go through there. All right. We can see that length is 5 meters. All right. So that's called a diameter. So the diameter is 5 meters. But what we want to find out here is we want to find out, well, we want the radius, right? So what's that from the outside, or the edge of the circle, to the middle, all right? What's that length? So that's going to be half of the diameter. So it's 2.5, all right, centimeters. Okay? And then we want to see how deep is that cylinder, so those red highlighted marks. What's the length of that one? So let's go back to our picture there. It's 5 meters. Okay, and to work out the volume of that one, so we've got a little formula that we can use to find out firstly the area of that shaded section, all right, that shaded section just there. So that's going to be pi r squared, all right, pi r squared. So r is the radius, so pi r squared, and then we want to times that by the height, all right? So that cylinder is 5 meters high, all right? So let's just work through that. So the volume of this one will be pi multiplied by 2.5 squared multiplied by 5, okay? And then you can solve that on your calculator. Basically, you just want to add them up. So you get your 125, yeah, plus your answer to that volume of the cylinder. All right, and so that will be your answer. Some other ones. So maybe we've got like a triangular prism. It's like this, right? So that's a prism. So we want the area of, let's call it the base there, right? multiplied by how deep it is. Again, cylinder, we want the area of the base times by how deep it is. Let's go a rectangular prism. So we've got a rectangle there, which a square is a special kind of rectangle. Okay, so it's a prism. Same thing, what we want to do is determine what we're going to call the base. Or sometimes maths teachers will call it like an end, right? An end, the area of the end. I normally just refer to it as the area of the base. And then we just want to multiply it by how deep it is. All right, so that's for prisms. All right, so these three are prisms. When you get to pyramids, what we want to do is basically, when you think about a cone, and if we had a cylinder, imagine like you've got like a bit of steel rod, something like that, or a piece of wood, right? And it was a cylinder there, right? And then you used a lathe and you made that cylinder, that bit of log, into a cone, and that vertical height, so basically it's from here to here, right? That vertical height is exactly the same. So basically when you go from a cylinder to a cone, the volume of the cone is just 1/3 of the cylinder. All right. Same thing for a triangular. See if I can draw one here. So say we've got like a triangular pyramid here. Imagine that was made out of like a triangular prism, right? With the same height. Basically, to get from the volume of the pyramid, right, the triangular pyramid, it's just 1/3 of what the volume of the prism would have been. Same thing again with the. Try to draw one here. I'm drawing like a square-based pyramid here. All right. So say that square-based pyramid was just built out of a big block. All right. And so you've got the height was, that vertical height was exactly the same. The volume of that rectangular pyramid is just 1/3 of what the rectangular prism would have been. So it's the same thing. Basically, with these questions, you just want to find what's that base area. All right. Find out the height. Okay. And then for the pyramid, you just divide it by 3. All right. So hopefully this video is just giving you a bit of a walkthrough about the steps to find the volume for those. All right, thanks.